So far we've got a health system, we've got some health pickups that kind of will add more health to this. But the next thing we need to make is a damage system, and then after that, in the next video, we can look about how we can respawn it. So if we jump back into Unreal, we've already got our health system kind of set up. So I've deleted a lot of the ones from last lecture, so now we've just got one. So the next thing we want to do is set up kind of the opposite system. So if I pop into my first person character, so I'm going to need a little bit of empty space here. So I've just commented this off to be a health add. So I'm going to move up here and we're going to make a new custom event here. And this is going to be called damage. So what damage is going to do, it's going to get our current health. It's going to subtract the value. And then it's going to set our current health to be that value. Okay. So it's just going to be set to that then. So to start off with, I'm going to set this to be 10. I'm just going to real quickly just copy and paste this little section here. I'm going to duplicate it using Control and W because I know that that's going to let me print string our health on screen. So damage gets called, we get our current health, we subtract the value, and then we set our current health to be the new value, and then we print string it on screen. So we have compile. So the next thing we need to do is we need to call this. So similar to last time, we're going to make a pickup that's going to do this for us. So we right click, choose blueprint class. It's going to be an actor. BP underscore damage. We're going to drop this into our level. From there, we're going to double click on it to edit it. We're going to add a box collision. We'll scale it up. Make sure it's not hidden in game so we can see it. And then with that selected, we're going to come down here and we're going to hit on component begin overlap. So I've accidentally named my box R just by making a typo. So just rename it there. So from here now we've got our begin overlap. We want to look for another actor. And we know it's going to be a cast to the first person character. And from there we want to call that event called damage. If we hit compile and then we play, so we know that this is our health pickup, this is our damage box. So if we step in there, 40, 30, now if we come back over here, we pick that up, back up to 40, now we're back to 30. Okay, so that's a real basic kind of damage system that we've got up and running real quick. So we can move this off to one side. So that's fine. So from there, what you might want to check is is the player actually still alive? Okay, so what I normally try and do is try and apply the damage first, and then we'll do a check on the end. So what we would say is, by the way, whenever this happens and we set it, is this less than or equal to 0? Because in theory, that's when the player should die. So if we have 5 health and we take 10 damage, we should still be dead. So what we're going to do is click and drag off here, and we're going to do a less than or equal to. So is it less than or equal to? So if that is true, meaning it's 0 or less, we want to do something then. So we want to go with an if or a branch. So if it's false, we still want to show the player their health, okay? But if it's true, we want to tell them that you're dead. So the very basic version that we'll do is we'll do a print string, and I say you're dead. Excuse my capitalization of it. So if we run through now, so we know we got a starting health of 40, sorry, 50, 30, 20, 10. So we know that that's working properly. So it is telling us that we're dead. And every time we step in, at this stage we should be dead. So we know that that's working fine. So again, this is set up really similar to the to the health pickup, where we could feed it in different values if we wanted. But what we're going to try and do now is we're going to try and do something like a little bit different. And this is where, again, for some people that might be doing visual scripting principles, you won't need to worry that much about this. But for people that are doing visual scripting, you might want to try and implement this. So if we look at our damage here, our damage pickup, we're stepping in, it's making sure it's a player, and then we're just calling damage. But what I want to do now is I want to constantly call damage over and over again. So I'm going to make a new event. It's a custom event, and it's going to be called Drain. We'll call it Drain Health. So what Drain Health is going to do is it's going to set a timer by event, and the event is going to be damage. Okay, so this means that as soon as I step in the box, as soon as this is called, it's going to start running this. So I'm going to say I want you to run it every second, and I want it to be looping. Okay, so now on my character, I'm not going to call damage anymore. Sorry, on this damage blueprint, when I cast my character, I'm actually want to call drain. Okay, so what's going to happen is when we step in the box, it's going to make sure it's a character. It's going to call health drain then. What health drain is going to do is it's going to constantly loop damage. And let's see it running. Okay, so that's running fine. It's a little bit kind of hard for us to see 100%, so I'm going to set this to be 1. So what's going to happen now is when I step in the box, it's going to start ticking down my health one at a time. Okay, but you'll notice there's nothing stopping that health once I step out of the box. So what we'll do now is we're going to make an event on this box collision that's going to stop this. So the way that we do that is we're going to make another custom event in here real quick. And this is going to be stop drain. And this is going to be a clear and invalidate timer by handle. So whenever this gets called, it's going to stop that drain from happening. And the way that we do it in here is, at the minute, we're calling this whenever we step in the box. So now we want the opposite. So we want this box collision. We want an end overlap. Still want to do the same thing. So we want to cast the first person character. But now we want to call that stop drain. So it basically means whenever we're in the box, we're going to start losing health. And then whenever we step out of the box, the drain's going to stop. So you see now we're on 49, 48. Now I'm on 45. It's staying exactly the same. If I go back in the box, my health starts draining again. If I come out of the box, it stops. So in terms of gameplay, that's something that you might want to put in place if you have, an area of a level where the players, in a toxic gas or something like that, or you can use a similar thing if the player's underwater and you want their oxygen level to constantly go down. So it's a little bit more advanced. It's not required for everyone to do this, but it's worth just giving it a try, because quite often we will call these timers by events and then we'll have to clear and invalidate them. It's really important to always make sure that you have something with clear and validate on your script somewhere, because we need to stop that at some stage.